Well, the subvariants of Omicron are more infectious than the Delta and the other variants we've seen in the past, but they're more mild, thank goodness. But I think we're going to see a wave similar to this in the US. We already have these two subvariants in the US, although they're not the most common variant right now. And, you know, the virus is starting to evolve differently because it's under different pressures. When we first were getting the first set of subvariants, it was really in an immune naive population. But now when you look at South Africa, as you mentioned, 90% or more of the population either has had COVID or has had the vaccine. So the virus is under different pressures. So as mutations occur, different types of mutations are going to be more successful. And, you know, I think that we're going to really have to change our language around COVID vaccination from being fully vaccinated to being up to date. You know, the idea that you have to constantly get boosters, you know, once a year or perhaps even more.
When we shifted from the Delta variant to the Omicron variant, the Omicron variant was like a completely different lineage from Delta. It was not from Delta. It was just something completely different. It had a whole slew of different new mutations. But what we're seeing now with this BA.4 and the BA.5 subvariants is really more kind of evolving from the existing Omicron variant. So it's down the same tree, if you will, that Omicron is on. They're extremely infectious. We're up at the range of measles now, so very easy to transmit. And as you mentioned earlier, they can even infect people who already have had this virus before. So they've already had the coronavirus, but they can still get infected by this variant. So I think that's kind of what we're looking at the time being. If that's the case, as we've already mentioned today, we're hopeful that that means that for the most part, people who've been vaccinated won't have severe disease. Although, as was already mentioned, people who have other illnesses could still get very ill.